In this video, I will show you how to level up your Barbarian in under 2 hours to max level and max renown. We will start with the skill rotation and with the best crafts paths, and a brief overview which dungeons give you the most value early on, mixed with some general tips to prevent costly mistakes. So let's start with the skills. On the Barbarian, it's a bit special. It's one of the only builds I've found where you actually don't need to max out a basic skill. So if we're going into Flail and Enhanced Flail, we've already got what we came for, because Enhanced Flail gives us the opportunity to make enemies vulnerable. And probably something that's also worth mentioning, this build only works if you're having a two-hand weapon. So try to get your two-hand weapon and you will love this build on how much burst damage you're actually able to do. Then we are going into Upheaval, which is basically our main skill, and we are going all the way into the Furious Upheaval, which then allows us, for every time we are dealing damage to a monster with a skill that's not Upheaval, we're getting 8% increased damage. So by this, we can get an 80% increased damage onto the Upheaval if you're playing correctly. Then the cries on the Barbarian are insane. So we are going 1 point into Rallying Cry. Then Enhanced Rallying Cry is really important because this again gives us the ability to be unstoppable and get out of hairy situations by cleansing a CC effect of enemies. And then we're going into Tactical Rallying Cry, and this has a 25-second cooldown, but the amount of resource generation we are getting is just insane. So we're having plus 100% resource generation when it's active, and 25% fury on top, and we're getting movement speed, which the Barbarian is lacking, so it's really, really nice. Then next up, we want to put some more points into Upheaval, because it's our main skill. And then we can put 1 point into Leap, which is basically our best mobility option that we have on the Barbarian. And then we are following this up with a Warcry, which allows us to deal more damage, but also gives us the opportunity, if we spec all the way into Mighty Warcry, to fortify and give us more tankiness, and also put us into berserking mode. Then we finally have enough points to put our Upheaval to max. And since Upheaval is a really, really heavy resource build, we need to use our Rallying Cry in combination with the Death Blow. So if we're speccing the Death Blow all the way into Fighter's Death Blow, which now allows us that for an enemy that we're hitting, we're gaining 20 Fury. But Death Blow cooldown is reset if we're killing an enemy. So if we're playing correctly, we're dealing some damage, and then we clear the low health enemies with Death Blow, we are getting insane amount of Fury back. And we are also increasing our Fury by the next points, where we're putting them in Endless Fury, which allows our basic attacks like Play to regenerate more Fury for us. Yeah, and that's basically it. Warrior is pretty straightforward. It's actually that easy. The most skill is actually dodging and playing as a melee character that's required, but I guarantee you it's going to be really fun, especially because you have so much burst damage with Upheaval. To be able to actually reach the goal of max level in under 2 hours, we need to go over some general rules. So I have 8 rules that you need to follow besides the level path that we will discuss later. So important is you gather all herbs you can find from bushes. Even if you have to walk like a little farther, it's important. We need those herbs really, they're really important. On ores, on the other hand, you only collect those if they are in your direct pathway. So if you need to make too long pathway where there's no monsters, don't pick up ores. Uncover unknown areas where always walking right. If you have a crossing, this consistently helps you to learn the maps a lot faster than if you're going left, right, ever. Like, if you don't know yet where you have to go, always go right to uncover a map. This consistency is really important. And don't, please, and this is number 4, don't stop to kill small groups of trash mobs. Try to bring them along into bigger fights so you have a higher effective DPS uptime. So no small mobs killing, try to group them with elites and kill them this way. If you're not able to switch gears while walking, do it only after dungeon completion to not interrupt your game flow. This is really important. Most people lose insane amounts of time because whenever they get like one new piece, they are already comparing it and then they stop moving and they keep standing still. Don't do this. Either do it at the end of a dungeon when you have a bunch of loot, or if you're able to do it while walking, then feel free to do it whenever. And then number 6. At level 10, you need to go to the main city, Kaya Rush, and upgrade your potion at the Alchemist. So this is really important because this will give you more health. And at level 20, you go there again and upgrade your potion. And what's also important is don't forget to collect your renown rewards. You can see them on the map by pressing W. It's really important because you will get 2 additional skill points from this. This is also why the cheat sheet is going up to level 22 and not to level 20. So here you can see now the second cheat sheet I made for you, and this is actually the level path. And this path is unique because it will get you to level 20 in less than 2 hours, and you will have more than 900 renown, so you're getting the 2 additional skill points, which is, I think, one of the best ways to do it, because this allows you to have way more freedom in testing and stuff. So let's go over it really quickly. The map basically has numbers on it. You just follow the numbers, which is pretty easy. If I have a circle right here, this means you actually have to go to the circle to uncover the area to get the renown. And wherever you see the E is an event. So whenever you pass by a spot where there is an E, you can do the event or look for it. Or if you're close, you can look for it. So events is something you should always take. And something else that you should always do is actually have an EXP pot up running from the Alchemist. And the Alchemist is here in the main town on this bubble right there. So always have it up. The pods give you 5% additional experience. And of course, if you're doing this level guide with more players, this is also better because group play gives you additional experience as well. So now let's go for it. So we are starting right here. There's instantly an event and an altar. You take both. Then at 2, you're taking the next altar. Then you move all the way down here. And at number 3, you're taking the waypoint, and there's also a quest. This quest leads you all the way up to level 4 right here, where you can then finish the quest. And then you can go to 5 and finish the dungeon. Then you do the next dungeon at 6. And then at level 7, we are having an event, an altar, and a dungeon. So you complete all of those. Then you go up here and take the next altar at 8. And then at 9, we're having some more fun actually to do, because you overtake your first stronghold, you take the additional waypoint, and you take the altar, and you can complete the dungeon right here. And then I would also recommend, whenever you are at a waypoint, to recycle your stuff, so trash your items that you don't need. Then we are going up. If you're feeling really frisky, you can do a little check here and also grab the event. Then you go over here, you take the red circle, then you walk right there to number 10 and take the altar. And then you move back to number 11, you finish this dungeon, then you finish dungeon number 12 right here. Then you do dungeon number 13. Then you do dungeon number 14, and while you're walking from 13 to 14, you can check the event. You could also go from 12 to check event 13, 14. Like whenever you're close to an event, it's worth checking for it. Then right here in the circle, it's important that you uncover this area. And then at level 15, at the waypoint, you get 2 additional quests, and you can take this altar right here. Then you go back to level 16. On the way, of course, you're going to check for the event. Then at 16, you're grabbing the altar. Then at 17, it's important that you firstly finish the quest and secondly uncover the red circle right here for the renown. And as always, check for the event. And then at 18, you take the altar and finish the dungeon. And then at 19, you take the event, and also important, the campfire for extra experience. And then at level 20, you can walk past the event, You finish the quest right there. Then you move a little down here, take the altar. Then you go to the right, you take this altar. And then at 23, you can finish a dungeon, take another altar. And at 24, you finish the quest and dungeon, and you're all set. And you should be level 20 with more than 900 renown. And yeah, it's really that simple. And if you want to see this guide played, I will be streaming everything on hardcore. So you can feel free to drop by Twitch and just ask any questions that you have. And yeah, it would be nice meeting you. Cheers, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this in-depth guide for the best level up strategies. And if this is not your class, I have made guides for all 5 classes. So check one of those videos right here and enjoy the class you like the most. Or maybe if you want to test out multiple classes, this is the best way to do it. Cheers.